Hi guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to another video. Now this one's just going to be another video for the series we're doing where we're just looking through some old kits in the collection. Just the builders really for the moment, where we've just got them stacked up on shelves in plastic bags, and yeah, I'm just starting to sort through some of this stuff now, so I thought rather than doing it by myself I would just grab a few down off the shelves and show you guys at the same time, so none of us are missing anything. I don't think I'll really leave anything out off the shelves, no matter how new or boring they may be. They're still there, so once we get to them I'll probably show them anyway, but yeah. And again, apologies. I mean, I've been trying to get these videos out once a week, just so I can have some content. My time lately, as everybody knows, has been extremely in demand at the moment. And especially over the last week, I've not even gone near YouTube, I'm afraid. Not managed to watch many videos at all. But that's just a final push before Christmas. What I did want is just to know in my own mind that, once this weekend comes and I've got a bit of a break, then I can actually concentrate on potentially getting that USAC build finished. And that's what I've done, that's what I've achieved. So I've bought myself a little bit of breathing space for a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks max, just to get a bit of bench time. But enough gassing anyway, we're just going to carry on with this video, see what we pull down off the shelf today. Like I said, there's a bit of a mixture in here. I could have added a few more in, but I think we got plenty more of these videos we can do. So I mean, first one we'll have a look at, which we've been looking at for the last couple of minutes on the bench. I think pretty much everybody will recognise this. It's the Joanne 69. I think this is the 69 Rambler American. Obviously the later issue. I think it's got all parts in box and what have you, but yeah, I think this one's complete. I actually got this in a big lot of built kits from an auction house, and mostly Porsches and stuff like that. But they had a couple of little American cars in there, so I sold off all the Porsches and all the other stuff which came in that, and just kept the select few of American cars. But this has always been a good kit, to be quite fair. It's not a particularly hard one to come across in the UK. I mean, there's always at least one on eBay. I've sold many of these in my past. I don't think I've actually got a mint in box one of these at the minute. They're not something I'll keep on the shelf for too long. If I know that I'm going to probably be able to pick something up without too much hassle, then if I got a mint kit and I need a bit of money, then that one's going to go. But so yeah, that was the first one. Not particularly interesting one. I think it's somebody's built it. I mean, it's really clean built up, and somebody's put looks like the monogram centre lines on there, which you got in many kits of the 80s. But quite a nice little build up that. And while I've got that one, I've got a 69, so I don't need too many of these. But got a slightly rarer one. I think this is a 66 annual hardtop to be. I think it's a 66 is this one. There wasn't a great deal of differences in this body style. I don't think you got too much change, even the grills or anything. Yeah, not a great deal change throughout the years with these, but the originals had a lot of nice customizing parts in it, and I think this is my only 66 hardtop. I don't have one boxed, I don't think. I've got a couple of the got a couple of the convertibles, the 66 convertibles boxed up. But like I say, you know, you get a lot more customizing bits which were later deleted from the later issues. But you can always use all these bits on 69s, obviously, and hence why I've kept a couple of hard tops. Like, I mean, I think I noticed when I pulled this one out of the bag today, like the trunk's full of luggage and stuff like that, and I could have used them months ago for that Pan Am build, and that's what I mean. I just don't know what so I think I'll probably end up pulling them out after this video and before I take some new pictures of it. So, and I do always post pictures of these at the end, like, you know, so you get a couple of shots of each. I mean, they're not the pictures I'm taking for storage or anything, you know, but, you know, we'll take a couple on bench before we go into anything more deeper with them, like. But yeah, they're a really nice kit, them Ramblers. I do remember there's a salvage yard out on the outskirts of York in the UK called Boswell's, and I remember I was doing a bit of labouring in my early 20s for my mate Kevin. You know, when we drove up to the building merchant site, I think there was like an old ambassador, like a late 60s ambassador, and possibly an American in there, just in the field as you drove up to the salvage entrance. And I did ask because at the time I think they looked relatively savable, but, you know, it's one of them cases. I think they belonged to the dad who owned the salvage yard, and he was going to restore them apparently, so they were strictly not for sale, and that was the last time I ever bothered looking at them, because I knew they'd either be there in 20 years time still in the same place, or, you know, they would have been thrown into crusher when scrap values went up, if they made it as far past COVID, like. So, but yeah, this is another Joanne kit. I mean, I think we've got a bit of a mixture here between Joanne and MPC, maybe Revel, AMT, a few AMT kits and what have you, but yeah, I'm not going to fanny about with that anymore, like. But yeah, I think this is probably an Edsel promo, with factory paint on it. You know, you got the base plastic and the roughish masking. I mean, in all fairness, it wasn't too bad, like, but, you know, the factory painted yellow on it, blacked out windows. Obviously none of these had interiors in them, like. I think somebody's probably painted them windows black. I don't think they actually came with blacked out windows. So yeah, and somebody's painted the underside. But, you know, I've sold a couple of these recently too. I think I've got potentially another one of these somewhere in collection. But the reason, what I really want to do when I build this one is, you know, I saw Steve Magnati. He did, when he was doing that big Mopar sale, they had a 2-door police car, black and white, all original, and it didn't sell for a great deal of money. I was like, I think it was one of the most, from the prices I saw, it's like one of the most expensive. I think it sold for about 10 grand as $10,000 as a really nice original police car, like. But that's what I want to do with this one anyway. That is what I've kept this one set aside for, specifically, like. So we'll have to find an interior and some other bits and pieces, probably on a later AMT 58 Plymouth. We'll sacrifice a few parts for that. you know, the chassis is detailed enough for me. I wouldn't worry about too much with that. I'd probably cut the engine plate out and put an engine in it, but I certainly wouldn't go to the extent of putting a later chassis underneath it and deal with all the ride height problems that'll cause me, like, so. But that'll be a nice project when it's done, you know. I really do want to get that one done. Certainly on the project list anyway, so. And I think that'll look really nice as a old police car, that one. But a bit more of a common one, this one. I think this is it's a 70 Buick Wildcat to start off with, and I think this is probably like the first original issue Motor City Stockers series. Basically promo kits, like, which were all in that series, and this one's been repopped. It hadn't been repopped a lot. I think Model King repopped it in about 15-20 years ago or something. I actually had one of them mint sealed on the shelf, but that one got sold a little while ago, like, and I know AMC's just bought it out again, so. But you know, it's a lovely looking car. I thought. I think it was better looking than the 70 Pontiac. I mean, the 70 Pontiac was a bit of a gopping, ugly looking thing, I thought, on the front end. This was mildly better, but you know, I always thought this kit suffered with. I mean, it's all screwed into the same place and what have you, but these rear wheels always sat far too back in rear arches, I thought, and I don't know what I'd do with that one. I'm thinking, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they'll look nice stock if you do them right. Like, so. Haven't got a plan screaming in my mind at minute for that one. I mean, there's only so much you can do with them, I think. But on to another Joanne. This is a 60 Adventurer, 60 Chrysler Adventure, DeSoto Adventure. Sorry, what am I on about? And this one's been really, again, another one which has been really cleanly put together. You know, pretty nice paint, kind of rattle can paint job, but you know, still nice. I don't think the roof's painted by the looks of it. And interior's sort of half painted, so it's in it. Chrome's absolutely mint on it, so really good basis for restoration because you haven't got much to strip off. But again, it's just one of those ones which are maybe a little bit too nice for me, to be quite honest with you. I think I've got a couple in boxes and what have you, but and I got an original 60. This is a builder, I think. This came in the lot I bought from Germany. You know, it was boxed, this one, so luckily it didn't get all the roof smashed in and what have you. And they're pretty much the same kit as what you got back in the US Oldies series, but you know, I'm not going to start unsealing all this one and what have you. But you know, these come in with. I think the difference was that these had the moulded in hoods in the 60s, had 60 annuals, and then the ones which survived getting retooled into later years, you know, they started cutting the hoods out. Hence why we end up with this one here and adding an engine and what have you for later issues and what have you. So yeah, but I mean, like I say, I mean, these things I'm really struggling with. I've not got enough room to store the ones which I'm building at the moment, and I've got too many nice ones where, you know, I'm just starting to let some of them ones go, to be quite fair, and a bit of a purpose of why these videos are coming out. You know, I'm picking up bits like that and thinking there's probably better homes for them. Somebody wouldn't mind taking that paint off, but it's just like I say, that one's just a little bit on the nice spectrum for me, like, but obviously a nice one, and you know, one which yeah, you know, me and Sean and over at the Scale Model Car Guy channel, yeah, we do a bit of trading and what have you, and I send him stuff and he sends stuff back. You know, I don't think any of us asked for to do it, like, but you know, it's. But he recently sent me a 60 Oldsmobile, 59 Oldsmobile, sorry. And this is one I'd already got on the shelf. Yeah, I think this was from the Germany lot as well, because yeah, it's got the. It's a really clean builder, is this one. But it's just suffered from a bit of a cracked down roof, which is really easy repairable. There's a bit of chipping edge on that really nice roof line. I think this side's alright, but yeah, obviously chassis and nothing else is glued on, but you know, Sean gave me that other one, and when I picked that one up out of the box, you know, the first thing I thought was old police car, and then I think I'll be torn between an old police car and an old taxi for one of these, with it being 4-doors. And they are a rare kit, these. They're a very rare kit, I think. So I'll either build them both, one as a taxi, one as a old police car, or I've kind of got this earmarked to give away at some point, to be honest with you, to somebody, but I'm not too sure yet. I think I'll see what next year goes like, and you know, if I can work any of these in. It's certainly a kit I'd like, just like the 59 Dodge Royal. You know, they're quite unique, so you know, to be able to have the opportunity to build something like that, you know, I think it'll be making a nice build for the channel. But again, a really nice looking front end when it sits on there properly, and chrome isn't too bad on this, to be quite honest with you. It's certainly savable. Rear bumper's looking a bit darker, like, but I'm pretty sure in that one that Sean sent me, they had a couple of spare bumpers in as well. So I'll just have to go at some point. I'll have to have a look, see which ones are the best bumpers for this one, and then just keep the others as spares. I mean, I can't imagine I'll ever find another one, to be quite honest with you, but yeah, I only never expected to find that first one, and then Sean sent me that lovely started one as well. So, and these are the things like I'm going to show mixing as well, because you know, they're on shelves, and trying to really hold this one together because the chassis sort of taken apart on it, and I can just hold it together for the next couple of minutes, you know, that'll be grand. But this isn't an original 64 Mercury hard convertible. This is looks like the 90s issue. I think it's got grey plastic underneath this. It'll be the 90s issue with the roof cut off, and I think even in that 90s issue it retained the convertible boot. So quite an easy conversion for somebody to do, and it's quite a nice job, is that, like, I mean, it's, you know, that's definitely a restorable car, like, you know. I'm not too sure if I'll keep the convertible thing going with this when I get round to doing it, but you know, I do love me early mid-60s Fords, and this might lend itself to a nice custom roof on there. But it's a good build, and I've not got too many of these, to be fair. I think I've got a couple of the 90s issues in boxes. I've got that semi-okay builder there, But I do have this one. This is an original, original 64 convertible. Really nice shape was this. I think I bought this. I think this was on eBay a good few years ago, and somebody was selling a lot of these individually, and I bought a lot of them. Like, I didn't buy a lot of them also. You know, I got some really nice kits out of that collection. But they were going for good prices. Like, some of them weren't, some of them were. I was generally getting the ones which weren't. But I think this was about 20 odd quid or something like that. But for an original convertible in that condition, you know, all frames really nice and what have you. There's no brakes. All visors are in place. Yeah, you can see the convertible boots exactly the same as that one. So if you know, and that's why I'll never restore that one as a convertible, because I have this one, and you know, I will make a nice stock convertible out of it. You know, it's got some really nice hubcaps on that one as well. Like, I mean, they're just the same as what you get in the later issues, like, but yeah, I mean, that's quite a rare kit. You don't see convertibles very often, like, so. And it's such a, I just, the 63 and 64 Mercuries, I just thought, I mean, I think the 64 had the better looking front end, to be quite honest with you. But the 63 is so rare in kit form, you almost prefer that one as a default kind of thing, so. But what have we got next? We kind of got three at the same. Well, three kind of the same, like, and yeah, this is the AMT 59 Buick and Victor convertible. I think these were, you do see quite. Again, I think I mentioned this before, but I mean, when I say you see quite a few of these in the UK, it's one of the more common kits you'll find, just because of the playcraft connection. People who don't know what I'm talking about, you know, this is the UK version. It's in a big flat box, fits absolutely nowhere in the collection, like, and completely different to the AMC SMP boxes, but yeah, they were just reboxed for the UK market, and they had the 59 Buick and 59 Lincoln. I don't think they did any others, but you know, I thought I had a couple of convertibles, and you know, and I've just recently, in the last 6 months, finally got a coupe, and it turns out that this is the only convertible I had. And the other one I thought I saw stacked up turns out it was a hardtop, like, but yeah, really, again, a really nice looking car. And I'm glad to have at least one convertible. I think this will build up into a nice one. It's not got any of the stuff stuck to the grill, like, so. You know, there's a lot of these got all the custom bits stuck over the grill, and they're a bit of a nightmare to clean off in there. I think this potentially might have had something glued on there in the past, like, but not too bad, like, and it looks all dry and nasty as hell, so I'm sure that won't chip off without too much hassle. And yeah, this is the one I bought recently in the last 6 months. Just another eBay find. Don't think it was too expensive. I don't think it was too cheap, but certainly not expensive. And I think I saw a pair, a 59 Lincoln and one of these sell as builders, and they fetched quite a lot more money as a pair, like. But yeah, I got well outbid on them a long time before the auction ended, like. But yeah, this is the the nicer looking hardtop, I thought, you know. I think most hardtops are nicer looking, like, I mean, but that's purely my preference, and this one's got the big grille bar. You do see this grille bar used a lot on these, and I've sold quite a few with that grille bar on. But this is complete, like, you know. I think they've got the rear valance for it somewhere. I think that's still in backlight, but other than that, you know, it's pretty much complete. Basic promo style chassis and everything else with it, but you know, they lend themselves really well to a lot of custom inspiration, and this is the other one I had. This is the one I thought was a convertible for some reason, but this is another Playcraft one, I think. Yeah, it's just got the balance all in place and what have you, and got to be careful with these because I have shoved some loose bits in the interiors, like. But yeah, I mean, this is had all this stuff glued to it now. It was either fallen off already or just started to pry some of the parts off, like, and you know, somebody's used a nice roll bar as a trunk rack on this one. Quite an interesting idea, but yeah, that's it. Other than that, you know, I think this is probably the best of all three, to be quite honest with you. It's got best chrome. I think this has probably had the Continental kit glued on at some point. Look at the glue marks on that, but I'm not too fussed about rear bumpers. It's when front ones get a bit nasty that they're a bit more difficult to work with. But yeah, wheels always looked a bit small on this kit, I thought, like, look. But that's just because it's a massive car, isn't it? But yeah, I was going to show the 59 Lincolns because they are pretty much next to each other on the shelf. Them ones, but I've got so many Lincolns. I think once I started pulling them down, it was just going to make the video too long. So I think we'll just do a separate Lincoln video altogether, and again, we're going to see. I mean, we haven't got too many left. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kits in total, like. So, and I'm trying to show not as many as in each video, but it's just kind of how I'm pulling them down and how much work I want to do afterwards, like. So, just give myself a little bit more room there, but you know, we've just pulled ourselves out of the light. But yeah, I think I've potentially shown one of these before. I bought one recently, and I've got one in an old box, and they're so identical it's hard to tell. You know, they both got the marble plastic finish on them. And this is just a really nice clean one. It's just completely unpainted for body wise, but somebody's chrome foiled it. The chrome on the wheels is absolutely stunning on this one, and front bumper's in real nice shape. This is one with I think they've both got corners missing off. I think one's missing off one side and one's missing on the other. So I think I'll be able to make one bumper out of the two, and then I'm pretty sure I've got a spare bumper as well. So, you know, be able to complete both of these one day. But I was so happy when I got this one, to be quite fair. You know, it's you know, the 59 Edsels are really hard kit to come by, and I think it was. I mean, it was miles better looking than the 58, I thought, to be quite honest with you. And I think that one's going to probably be done blue. A bit like, I mean, I remember the film Used Cars, which was just another one of them films where you got to learn so much about obscure cars of the 60s and 70s. you know, and you saw a lot of really nice old stuff getting trashed in that movie, but you know, you got to think there were $200-300 cars at the time, if that, maybe, yeah, probably even less, yeah, $100 cars. But on the Edsel flavour, I thought I'd throw this one in, as sorry as it is. This one, this is what remains of a 60 Edsel, which has been unfortunately extremely fire damaged or heat damaged. I think it must have just been set too close to either a fire, or it was in a fire. It looks like it was definitely in a fire at some point, or very close to a fire. So, and there's really not a great deal salvageable out of this, but I've kept it regardless. I mean, I thought I could probably use the tail lights, the rear quarters and tail lights for a custom, but I don't think even they survive completely on one side. So, but it did come with all the chrome, and the bumpers on this thing are absolutely immaculate, like, or very close to immaculate anyway. And I really do, this is one of the ones I really do wish I had in a lot better condition than this. I don't have another 60 light, but you know, I've kept this one for if I find one in slightly better shape, or certainly which were melted to death, you know. Because despite a very clean break in the windshield frame, yeah, the windshield frame's kind of survived. So, you know, there's probably good repair panels in that, you know. And yeah, it's come with all wheels and what have you. So all this kind of stuff which has come with it, you know, it just, nothing gets chucked away. And you know, I'll either just sell the parts if it comes to it in time, or if I give up looking for, yeah, this has got, it's got the tail lights, everything in there, like, so. But yeah, nothing's worth chucking away, like, everything's worth something. And you know, if I'd never do anything in years time, you know, I'm sure that them parts will come in handy for somebody else, like, so. All the people who say, people who hoard or what, like, anything like that, you know, it's not fair on other people. Then, you know, something like that comes to market and they've been desperately looking for parts, and yeah, that's, you can blame hoarders for that, for bringing such quantities of old kits to market when the time comes, like. But I'm not going to get into that stupid rabbit hole, like, just annoys the hell out of me, does that. But just because, you know, I have a lot of stuff, but I also sell a lot of stuff. I sell a lot of stuff I don't want to sell. But you know, it's just life, isn't it? But you know, I do bring a lot to market which wouldn't be available had I not bought all this stuff in the past, like, so. But anyway, like I say, I could get moving away from that very swiftly before I get a load of people with other ideas on that. But yeah, this is another little favourite of mine. I wouldn't care, but I don't think it's even one of my favourite looking cars. It's but again, just another really rare kit. This is a '59 Pontiac convertible. AMC SMP annual, whatever they were back then. But this one's got really nice paint as well. Yeah, I don't know if I'm too keen on two-tone on it, but you know, that rose colour really suits this car, to be quite fair. And another extremely rare kit to find, like. Always love the rear end on them things, to be quite honest with you. You know, if I can actually, I think I've just got too much stuff in the background now, to be quite honest with you. We've got a little bit of a chip on one of the tail fins, but you know, just a super clean builder, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, you just don't see too many of them. So, and they do look good in convertibles to these. Like, you know, I'm like I say, I'm more of a hardtop person, but you know, when you get a good looking car like that, you know, you don't care really whether it's a convertible or hardtop or whatever. I think I've got missing visor in the bag somewhere for this, like, so. But again, because it's been quite nicely done, it's not one I'm rushing to restore, but it does need restoration, if not for the chrome, for anything else, like, but yeah, I mean that's a lovely little thing you don't really see too often, like. But yeah, I think we're on to the last couple, so yeah, we won't be too long, like. I'll just move some of these to the side so we've got a bit of a gap to work with, like, and shove something else in these last two. But what else we got? Yeah, I mean, I've got other Imperials in the collection scattered about, builders, but these two were just together. So these last two were just together, but this is a Revel 62 Chrysler Imperial. Again, one which has been really cleanly put together. Looks like the one which was moulded in red, like, so I'm assuming it was the flat box one opposed to metal flake one, but and I've got I think the tail lights just rattling around in there, hence why I'm said before, I just got to be careful handling these things. I don't want to be tipping them up and losing a part which is, you know, quite important to model, like. But you know, yeah, I think I've got a couple of box ones. Yeah, I think this is the issue. This probably is, like, you know, the old flat box one. But I think this is pretty much unstarted. I think it's got body painted as that one, and yeah, and this was the metal flake one which I bought recently. Every time I see this box art, it's just one I really want to do. I keep looking at it and I keep thinking what I'm going to use as a base for that, but that's definitely one I'd like to do someday. But yeah, so there was a couple of issues of the 62 Imperial, likes. I don't think it's past restoring. I think it's got enough faults with it to let me tear it down at some point and what have you. But you know, it's all complete and what have you. You know, engines in there. It's actually got a bit of nice wiring in there, to be quite fair. Yeah, I think distributors wide and what have you, but a nice finish. I think it's probably an enamel finish by the looks of it, an enamel spray. But I need to get some of these things done. You know, I've got so many of them, like, that it's pointless them all just sitting here doing nothing, like. But and out of all these kits, the next one is probably my favourite, and you're gonna probably think I'm absolutely mad. But it's this little thing here. I think this is an AMT Imperial, and I bought this. I think there was a a listing on eBay, and it was in the States, and there was I think a 58 Thunderbird with a bobbed rear end, and a 61 or 62 Thunderbird, which was, you know, pretty much untouched, just a builder in this kind of sort of condition, like. But yeah, this is a 62, and I could see that. I don't know if it's a 62, 61, 63 in all fairness. I don't think there's enough left on there to sort of distinguish, like. But you know, I saw this, and this listing was on for months and months and months, and probably over a year. And I think it got to the point where it's like the sellers reduced them so much. I think I got them to my door for less than 30 quid shipped from America. So But I just saw such. I mean, thing is so ugly. Whoever's built this here, it just always reminds me of like a 1950s, 60s version of the Homemobile. You know, nothing works really with the design. You know, just pretty much sliced off the front end there, completely sliced off the rear end there, like, and not too sure what grille that's from. I just can't think off the top of my head what grille that's from. Complete mind blank on that, but yeah, there's not much for rear fenders, front fenders or anything. It's got some custom front balance sort of moulded in, mismatch hubcaps, some are stock, some are sort of custom. Never liked them hubcaps on when I saw them on model kits or sort of custom cars at the time, to be quite honest with you. But I think what I like about this is that there's just inspiration there, and you want to know what you can do to challenge yourself to turn this thing around and capture kind of what the original builder was going to do. I mean, there's no way I'd go with the original design completely, but you know, I mean, initial thought was a leather car. Yeah, potentially filling these fenders in and reworking some stuff about. Some it would have to be extended on that rear end just to pull it in, but I think those are actually the hubcaps from a 63 Imperial, painted up to look like turbine exhaust or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it like I say, first thing that's come to mind is a leather car, and then Tim did one. So very much like The Simpsons, but it's Tim's channel. You know, I was also thinking about doing a tractor, but doing it like the old hot Matchbox sort of one with the big V8 engine and stuff like that. And then Tim does a tractor, so he's certainly a case that Simpsons did it first, but he has so many good ideas that he just plucks them out of everybody. It's like, you know, his ideas are so good that, you know, he just builds the stuff we all want to build, and unfortunately we don't have time to do them all. But yeah, I think I'll probably still go with leather car idea for that, or Summit Jetsons sort of style. I mean, there's still a bit of the original roof left. I don't know if we'd actually end up keeping that. I think there's so little of it left that, and this isn't a windshield frame. It's just like, it looks like they've scrapped the windshield frame off altogether and just painted it. But I think you'd make something really good out of that, to be quite fair. With a lot of work and certainly a lot of imagination, you know, you'd get a nice model out of that. And I think out of all these, what we got here, I think I'd probably gain the most satisfaction out of pulling something like this around, trying to make this look reasonable rather than doing. I mean, a lot of these kits behind us, you know, the body styles, you know, they don't need a great deal of work to make them look better than the factory. You know, most of them are flawless from the factory, like. But you know, with something like this, all you got is somebody else's input as into what they built in the 60s, and you know, how do we turn that thing around to make it look nice? Like, and like I say, I think that's where I'd probably get the most satisfaction out of. Like, I mean, there's, like I say, there's some beautiful kits around behind us, but yeah, this one certainly is one of my favourites. Like, so I think that's all I'm going to show today. You know, I think we've had a look at some pretty decent kits here, and there must be something rare in there that, yeah, some people haven't seen, or you don't get to see many up there very often, like, which again is another reason why we're doing this. What's the point in having all this stuff and just keeping it on shelves and not sharing it, and never getting round to building any projects we want likes. But yeah, with that, I think we're going to close off the video now. I probably will have something on Christmas Eve, just if it's maybe just a message. It'll just be, it's just my year anniversary, and I was going to originally plan to sort of go and have a look through the old builds and what have you, but I'm just not too sure yet. But either ways, I'll put a message out on Christmas Eve and wish you all the best and what have you. So I will have one more video, but before Christmas, but then it's pretty much how much I can get on that USACC build, and I do really want to get that finished. You know, it's not really an option, so it's going to be a lot of late nights probably, but we'll get it done. So yeah, finally, to all the supporters of the channel, you know, I really do appreciate you all. I appreciate everybody who comments and, you know, waits patiently for me to find time in my life to come back to YouTube and get on to replying on those. But I do try and find them all. But yeah, so whatever you're doing for the rest of the week and run up to Christmas, hope it all goes really well for everybody, and you know, you enjoy being with your families and doing all that great stuff you guys do. So with that, we will see you on Christmas Eve, and that's it. So yeah, see you, bye.